What's up guys, it's Mike with Alpha Reptile. Today I'm bringing you guys a Vivarium update. This is going to be an update on the $150 budget Vivarium that I set up about 14 months ago. If you guys are interested in watching how I set it up and actually how I got the tank to cost me $150, then you can click at one of those two corners and you can go check it out for yourself. I think it was a pretty decent video. It's not terribly long and you're only spending 150 bucks for an Exoterra tank, the lights, all the insides, everything. In addition to giving you an update about what the tank is doing now and how it has evolved over time, I'm actually going to be sharing with you guys how I'm going to trim this tank and just a quick time lapse of that at the end of the video. Now before I give you an update on what the tank is doing right now and what its current status is, I want to refresh your memory as well as my own on what it looked like when I first set it up. So why don't we jump into it? Yeah, it has changed quite a bit, needless to say. That tank was extremely bare and really could use some growing in of the plants. And as you might be able to tell from that distance, I did not fail to disappoint. So with that being said, why don't we get you guys off that tripod and enjoy the tank itself. Now upon opening the tank, the first thing we see is a complete dominance by the Nautilocalix lynchi, which is actually imported from Colombia by somebody here in Calgary. So it is quite a unique plant, and I'm not complaining that it's growing super fast, but honestly it's my fault for planting it so close to the front of the tank. Once you push past the Nautilocalix lynchi, you are greeted by the log that was previously a cork bark log but has been completely turned into a moss and vine display, I suppose I'll call it, because right now there is oak leaf fig or Ficus quercifolia growing off it. There is a ton of different species of Markgravia, and I actually bought the Any Herps moss mix here in Canada and applied it to this log, and as you can tell, the moss is growing really well. It took a little while to get established, but once it got established, the growth was booming and I love the way it turned out. There are several other species of kind of carpeting slash vining plants that have grown mad in this tank. The Selaginella, I believe it's undulata, I don't know the actual species name on this one, has been growing really well in the back. Underneath the Nautilocalix lynchi, we have a Ficus panama. It goes by a bunch of different names, but that's kind of its, I guess its unofficial common name. And that has actually been growing really well in this tank as well. It started off as a very small plant in the beginning. I don't know if I actually had it in the original video, but it did start off pretty small and has boomed to take over much of the front quarter of the tank. At the front left-hand corner of the tank, we have a strawberry begonia, and it didn't do much for several months, but now it's sending out runners and growing completely rampant all across the tank. There's actually one of the begonias flowering in the back, which is really cool. I believe this is called a turtle shell begonia or a harried begonia. I don't know exactly because I was given it by my friend, and he didn't know exactly either. And now that I've given you a bit of an update and an idea of what the tank looks like currently, why don't we get into the time lapse of me actually trimming the plants and getting rid of a lot of what's in this tank. That does it, everybody. I cleaned the tank out. I took out most of the Nautilocalix lynchi or something like that. Nautilocalix. You've seen it already and heard it in this video. There is still some shoots in there, so it will grow back. There's stuff like the Anubias at the very front that I had no idea I even had still. I totally forgot about it. It was swamped in the other plants, and I'm glad that I was able to clear them out. Now what I'm going to do after I get back from my trip in Belize, which I am currently on while you guys are watching this video, I will plan to actually get some of the cuttings in the back there, the Ficus pumila, the Ficus pumila quercifolia, the Ficus panama. I think there's some like miniature philodendron, something like that. I actually plan to pot that all up in very small pots and start selling them online and at shows. So trimming down this tank is actually a great start for that. That allows me to package up a ton of little small pots and get those started for one of the upcoming shows. Something I also discovered while I was in here is really exciting is that my manta ray vine, which is like one of 3 or 2 in Canada, is finally starting to grow a new shoot out of it. I made a cutting for one of my buddies, and that was 3 or 4 months ago, and it just didn't do anything. It didn't die, but it didn't grow at all. So now that I have that new shoot present, I cannot wait to see what it grows into, because when this plant starts to grow, it rockets. And that wraps up the video. You've seen everything. You've seen the new tank, or I guess the newly trimmed tank. You've seen what it looked like back when it was made, and here we are now with a brand new, I guess this tank had a new lease on life, and I am super excited to see how it turns out. I leave in 2 days as of filming this. I'm kind of breaking the fourth wall, I know, but I cannot wait to see what it looks like when I come back, just to see how much greenery has spread to the more open areas now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I thought it was actually really cool just to look back on the old Vivarium and see what it looked like compared to what it was and then what it is right now as you guys are seeing it. If you did like the video, make sure you smash that like button. You subscribe to my channel for more reptile, amphibian, plant, and fish videos in the future. And after you click that subscribe button, make sure you click the notification bell next to it. YouTube is doing a terrible job of reminding you guys who are subscribed to me to actually watch my videos. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, plant identification that I might have missed, be sure to leave it in the comment section and I will answer it for you. And if you're interested in following me in my trip to Belize, I will have very limited access to Wi-Fi, so I will hopefully post some pictures to Instagram. So I'll leave a link to that at the very top of the description for you guys to check it out. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next video. Later!